Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 19th, I think. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com, and let's see what we have coming up for you this week. Wow. So definitely, for some of you dealing with authority, let's see here. Dealing with authority figures, you have three kings showing up. So for any of you who are involved in anything legal, I would say definitely, time to double check all your paperwork, everything like that. And it might just be a week where there is a focus on anything legal that you could be dealing with. Like I said, you have three kings. You have the Nine of Spades. Nine of Spades is a very legal card to kind of give it a title, I guess. But that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing either. I mean, the Nine of Spades can also be a card of justice. You also have the King of Spades, which on one hand is you showing up here in a very strong position. I mean, you're showing up in a position of authority this week, regardless of what your situation is. It doesn't matter if you're involved in something legal or if you're becoming a manager, or you're just kind of stepping up into a more stronger position in life in general. It's a very strong, like I said, very strong position to show up as. But some of these cards can represent justice as well. So for some of you, there could be a lot of justice. King of Diamonds, great time for everybody to just look at your money, to look at your finances, and look at new ways of investing and things like that. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think I said it in like the 2017 readings that I did at the end of last year. And I said that people would be really focused on looking for new investments and looking at investments in a different way. How you save your money, where you put your money, and things like that. And it's going to be different for everybody. But I really think that there's going to be a big shift over the next few years in regards to like money and things like that. I could talk about it for hours, but I will say that in 2019. Neptune goes to 15 degrees. It's a critical degree, and not necessarily a money position, not necessarily a money house. However, I think at that time we could see a lot happen with the markets and things like that. So it's definitely a good time for you to get your finances in order and think about those things. Next, you have the Nine of Spades, card of justice. Like I said, could be justice. And on another hand, this can be a card of a blessing in disguise. But it's a little bit different. It's a card of you realizing that something that didn't work out in the past is a blessing in disguise. You're coming to that realization now that maybe something that you lost or something that didn't work out, could be a relationship, a business, a job, whatever, was actually a blessing for some reason. So that's pretty much that. Next, you have the Seven of Clubs. A lot of you are probably very focused on just like working through issues at this point. A lot of you could also kind of, this is one of those cards where it's like before you know it, it's the end of the week type of deal. You just kind of fly through the week in a lot of ways, but it's because you're probably just focused on clearing a lot of stuff away, mostly work related, mostly in regards to work. And again, even if you don't work, it could be like work around the house, or it could be bills that you're trying to put in order, or your taxes you're trying to get in order, or whatever. It's kind of like that mundane work. But the good news about this card is it allows you to kind of, move through these more boring types of like paperwork and stuff like that relatively easily. And it allows you to just kind of like put your head down and just get it done. So if you have any of that stuff to do, like I said, it's a great week for that. For the rest of you, any of you who are creative, by the way, any creative, if you create things or write in particular, this is a very good card for that. Next, you have the Four of Diamonds, my card of newness, new things entering into your life. It does represent patience. What else do we have here? I'm just looking for a combination, but you don't have it. But I would say still a card of patience and just things kind of like more or less taking their time to get going. However, I do think with these kings that at least you'll be seeing your progress. I want to say that I've delivered that message to you before. Definitely a message is coming in now that at least this week that you'll be seeing progress, whereas in the past I think progress has been a little bit harder to spot, or maybe you just haven't even been able to like see where you're making progress in all areas of your life. Next, again, you show up in a very strong position, King of Spades. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Again, anybody can be a king. And it just represents you kind of stepping up in more of an authority type position. Again, I feel like I've delivered this message to you before. I think maybe it's just something that's important to you at this time. For a lot of you, again, you could be literally doing things like starting your own business, starting a new job in a higher position, like a management leadership type of position. It's also a card that says, do not be overly cautious. Again, you might be like presented with an opportunity this week or something, and you might just be, maybe because of past experiences, you're a little bit nervous to take advantage of the opportunity. Again, whether it's a business, a date, a person, whatever. And this card says, hey, take a chance this time, and just know that those past difficulties, things that happened in the past, they're over and done with. And finally, you have the King of Clubs. Again, clubs cards, to me, the Queen of Clubs, King of Clubs, are the cards of authority, the cards of leaders, the cards of ambition, the cards, being very ambitious and trying to work very hard towards your goals. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, I think with 3 Kings, that's just going to be the case this week in general for you, that a lot of you are kind of at that point where you're just like, I'm going to be super ambitious and go for what I want, really, and not worry about anything else. So I think it looks like a really nice week for you, especially with those Kings. Great week, by the way, if I didn't say it already. It's a great week to also deal with bosses and things like that. If you want something like a raise or you want to make more money, now would be the time with these cards to, go talk to your boss about getting a raise. You do have a 9 here. 9s represent opportunities. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you go to a boss and you say, hey, I want a raise, they might say no. But, what would be better is if you went to a boss and said, hey, what do I have to do to get into this position? What do I have to do to get a raise? And one of 2 things will happen. They'll say, hey, you know what, you've been doing a good job, I'll give you a raise anyway. Or they'll say, do this, this, and this, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So again, great week for communicating with any types of authority. That's what I would do if I were you. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your week.